Hello and welcome to level 158 of the Thoughts and Players podcast, the gaming podcast with bold takes and no strings attached. I am Jeremy. Here is my compadre, David.
What up?
What is up? What is up? What is up? How is your evening going?
It's been a day.
Mm.
So I had work, but I got off early since it's a holiday weekend, which I didn't even know Easter was this weekend. So that's a
Mhm.
surprise. And my friend bought a car, but he needed my help to drive 3 hours to go pick it up.
Oh, okay.
So we drove to Indiana,
Oh,
picked up his
wow.
car, and drove back. I got home about 40 minutes ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well,
So 6
some
hours of driving. It was all right. Not too
is
bad.
some dedication as a friend. What kind of car was it?
He got a 2016 uh 8-cylinder 6.2 450 horsepower Camaro. And
Okay.
it's 2016 and only had 25,000 miles on it.
Yeah, that's nice. Not
That's
bad. I,
crazy.
I would think that it either has to be European or sport to drive that far, or it's a bus and he's making a schoolie or something. I would think it's something of that magnitude. It couldn't be like, yeah, I'm driving 6 hours to pick up a Nissan Altima. You know what I'm saying? I would
Right.
imagine it's yeah, had to be something
Yeah.
like that, you know.
Got
Yeah.
the Camaro. And then the person who had it, they put like a sound system in it. They put some LEDs
Mm.
on it, and it's on 22s or whatever size they are for that
Hmm.
car. Like it was barely any tire.
Yeah.
Whatever rims those are. So it's pretty decked out. It's a solid black.
Okay.
Like it is very nice looking.
Wow.
So
Okay.
definitely worth it.
Is there any was
And
you guys do any? Oh, go ahead.
a funny story. So on the way home, there was a car coming onto the freeway, and we were one in front of the other. But
Hmm.
I got over so that car could get in because it just wasn't working out right. And
Hmm.
I didn't realize my exit was coming up, so I missed my exit. He didn't. So he took
Uh,
it. I called me. I was like, "Yeah, I know." I'm like, "The next exit to turn around is like 9 miles away." He's like, "All right, I'll see you
uh,
when we get home."
yeah.
Turns out the turnaround wasn't 9 miles away. It was a different route 9 miles away.
Uh,
So eventually we get onto the same freeway again, and
yeah.
I passed him up, and I didn't realize that, and
Huh.
eventually he just pulls right in front of me, and I called him. I was like, "Is that you?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Where the heck did you come from?" we thought he was gonna be sitting here at my house waiting for me.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So yeah, crazy
That's
how
pretty.
that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy. Yeah.
How's your day been?
Um, I didn't really. I think I drove maybe 20 minutes away from the house one time today.
Oh, that's
I think
lovely.
that's what mine's was. Nowhere near the epic journey of yours, but otherwise it's
Right.
been fine. You know, just chilling. You know.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, chickens, ducks, and hens. Hopefully, maybe you're listening to us while you're on such a drive such as David's had. Maybe you're on your own odyssey across this fine land, and you're trying to, I don't know, find purpose or you know a job or maybe like a good fried chicken place. I don't know.
Ooh,
And you're
that
listening to us
sounds
there,
good.
or you're just enjoying wherever you're at. We hope so. Um, yeah, but we've got I think a pretty interesting topic for today.
I think so.
It's talking, getting. But before we get there, let's go ahead and start where we always start, which is talking about the games that we are playing. Um, Now I can go first on this if
Yeah,
you
let's
want,
uh
or
let's see what you've done in Farm Simulator.
okay, cool. So that's a cool kind of thing you set there because that has been once again all I've been playing.
Yeah, buddy.
Um, there, every once in a while, as a gamer, quote unquote, I partake in this kind of range and in a timeline, and I indulge in things in which I truly, genuinely disappoint myself. And none has been greater than the disappointment of myself that I've had with my consistent and stalwart playing of Farming Simulator 25. Um, there have been many a game that I've played that is much greater art, greater epic, you know, gameplay mechanics
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
story and all these things, and they have not bit in and held their claws and their teeth into me like Farming Simulator 25. So I have been playing this game. I've slowly migrated over to what I have been doing, but putting in a lot of work. I started doing this silage operation, which I still have. For people that don't know, silage is basically just fermented grass. This is one of the cheapest ways to actually set up a system and get some production going in this game. So I slowly migrated. I've been migrating over from growing grass because you would grow the grass, you'd cut the grass, you'd ferment the grass, and you sold the grass, and that's all you do, right?
Hmm.
So I've moved on now to finally growing crops. What crops have I been growing? Grains. So I've been growing canola.
Okay.
I've been growing wheat. Have not grown any barley yet, and I grew some soybean. Right? Turns
Okay.
out, and I grew some oats. But turns out there's another level you can do of production for this. Right? It's kind of this thing where it plays into the element of like city builders. You probably remember this from Manor Lords, right?
Hmm.
You set up these production lines, and the more complex the production item is, the more money it's worth, right?
Hmm.
So, for instance, if you mine iron, that's worth something. But if you mine iron and mine wood, and you convert that wood into charcoal, you can then combine the charcoal and the iron in a blacksmith and make weapons. And the weapons that you get sell for more than just the iron alone or the charcoal alone, right? This is a pretty much well established mechanic of a lot of these builder builder games that rely on production lines, right? The more
Right.
complex the item, it requires more investment of raw materials, but the more
Hmm.
you get. And this is kind of the
Right.
same thing, right? Where I'm like, hey, I'm growing canola, I'm growing wheat. I can sell these things and I can make about $1,500 a liter, right? Or every 1,000 liters, right? Or I can set up a grain mill and I can turn the wheat into flour, or I can set up an oil mill and I can turn the canola into canola oil. And then instead of making $1,500 every 1,000 liters, I'm making $5,000 every 1,000 liters.
Dang, that's what's up.
So that's what I'm in now, right? That's the process I'm in, trying to get out of debt. You know what I'm saying? I was on a steady pace of I'm about to get all this debt paid off. I'm like, this is going to be easy. And then I'm like, oh, I see a couple of things I need to get here. Oh, I see some cars I can flip. Let me get in a little bit more debt so I can make a little more money, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Takes money to make money, everybody. We all know this.
That's what I say.
So I'm in the process of doing that. I'm gonna have my first kind of sales of these things. It's always really cool to have that. So I was finally able to. I own like 5 or 6 fields now. I just bought like a little compound essentially on this map, so I'm gonna get to customize that. So I'm having a bunch of fun with it, and it is arriving to an end though. I feel the journey ending. I'm gonna
Hmm.
get to a point where I'm like, I've done pretty much everything I've wanted to. I'm gonna chill for a minute, and then I'll finally go play something like Medieval Dynasty, or where I can farm in that and build a town and take my time there, or might play something with an actual story like a Dragon's Dogma. I've been thinking more and more about that game. Open
Okay.
world RPG is kind of it's kind of there, especially with all the video and stuff I've been seeing around Crimson Desert,
Hmm.
which is a game I've really been interested in. Um, so yeah, that's mostly. Eventually, I'll get there, but right now I'm still in Farming Simulator, at least for now. I feel it
Hey,
ramping
that's
up.
it's all right. Sometimes like the simplest things are the most attractive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like one my favorite song of all time, and it has been for a while. I won't say that it can't change because it could, but it's going to be hard. There's a song called "Faded" by Alan Walker.
Okay.
It is a very simple song,
Yeah.
and there's actually two versions. There's "Fade" and "Faded." I like "Fade" better because it's the just the instrumental, but "Faded" actually has like lyrics over it.
Okay.
Everyone, you included, everyone listening, just go listen to that song at one point. You don't have to listen to the whole thing. Just click halfway through, listen to a little bit. It's very simple. It's a simple song. There's not a bunch of layering. It's not like crazy mastering, and it is so good.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of what farming simulators doing to you right now. It's very simple,
Yeah.
but it just pulls you in.
Yeah. That's it. That's what it's been. It's been scratching at it. I think about it like
Exactly.
recently what's been happening like the past, I want to say maybe week or a week and a half or so, right? Like I'll play that towards like the end of the day, like at night before going to bed.
Hmm.
And also what's been happening is that like while I've been doing that, I've also been going back with my fiance and she's been reading me A Crown of Roses, Thorns and Roses, I
Oh,
think.
Crown of Thorns and Roses.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I've been listening to that and kind of engaging and talking with her about that as I've been playing the
Hmm.
game. Because again, that's the type of game where I don't need to pay attention to dialogue. I don't need to pay
Right.
attention to arcs. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? All I need to do is drive a tractor on some freaking dirt and do stuff. That's what I got to do, right? Until I got to buy stuff. When I'm trying to wheel and deal, I got to focus in a little bit.
Right.
Because the game has an element of jank to it that if you don't pay attention, it will screw you. But otherwise, I'm able to do all that stuff. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I think that I'll be bought into it for a little bit longer, and then I'll find
That's
something
it. That's
else.
what it's there for, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And
Uh,
then 6 months from now, I'll be like, how the hell did I spend
oh yeah,
8 months
for sure,
straight playing Farming
for sure.
Simulator
I look
25?
I look back at like PUBG, and I know I had a lot of great times. You know, I got killed by Shroud. You know, I was one of his games and stuff. But like, I
Yeah,
sit there and just look at the game. I'm like, how did I play that for 800 hours of my life?
yeah,
Yeah, you know. But
yeah.
I still am not regretting it.
Right.
But it's just
Yeah.
like, I could have taken a couple hundred hours off of that, and put it somewhere else. But it happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess we can go to what I've been playing.
Yeah.
It's been weird. So like I told you, I hit Ace in Fragpunk, and it's an entire different game. I am just getting mutilated out there. I haven't actually even. I'm lucky if I play a game a day.
Mm.
Like I haven't even been logging in. Like it's just been very deterred, and it's not because like I'm upset I'm getting demolished.
Hmm.
It's just like the difference between Masters and Ace is super huge, and like I said, I've never been that high in a rank before, and it's very hard, and I am not understanding the learning curve. So
Mm.
I just feel like maybe I need to take a break and let my muscle memories kind of fade a little bit and see if
Mm.
I can pick it back up at that level and understand it better.
Yeah. 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 No. Yeah. I feel what you're saying. Yeah.
So I've been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals and a lot of Finals.
Okay.
So
Final
it's like
swooping in
it's
when you need
back.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I've been playing. And
Okay.
I'm gonna throw something in there. So what Emily's been playing, right? She's
Okay.
not really a gamer, but
Yeah. Yeah.
her two friends got into Fortnite, and they're like,
Okay.
"Hey, you need to play. You need to play." And my son has a Switch, so she started playing it on that. It was already on there
Yeah.
because of him and stuff. So now, if she has free time and her friends are on, she's just playing Fortnite. At this point,
Interesting.
I think she's probably put 20 hours into it over the last 2 3 weeks.
Okay.
And that's
Okay.
a lot for a non like
Right.
casual gamer.
Right. That's a healthy clip.
And and she's into it so much that she got the battle pass for this season,
Okay.
and I gave her crap for it because she was always giving crap to my son because he
Uh-huh.
always wanted all the skins and the battle passes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and she's laughing at herself now because she's like, you know what? I understand.
Now I get it. Yeah.
And I I just want to throw that out there. Sometimes things don't look as great as they are when you don't understand them,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that's a good perspective to have. I myself am guilty of doing that pretty consistently. And as you are doing, I have a partner of which reminds and calls me out for when I'm doing so. Like, hey, remember when you said that this looked dumb? Well,
Hmm.
guess what, buddy? You're doing something that someone could say is arguably just as dumb. Now, of course, I always retort, it's not that dumb, and here's why, right?
You always got an answer.
Always got to I always have to plead my case, right? But like there is that thing of like, hey, like, oh, you're saying that this is like a nerdy thing or different stuff like that. Well, guess what, bro? Guess what you're doing? You're doing something equally as nerdy or equally as ridiculous.
Yep,
Um so but sometimes it's like you don't get it until you're in it, right? So for I
exactly.
mean, for instance, it's nowhere near gaming. For years, just a quick aside, for years, I was aware of a YouTuber called the Report of the Week.
Hmm.
Massive, legendary YouTuber, right? Known
I've never heard of them.
synonymous known synonymously as review bro, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, people are watching this guy. This guy's ridiculous. It's a skinny little guy that goes around reviewing fast food in a suit, right? And I'm like, this is ridiculous. The joke is up. This guy's been doing this for over 10 years. The joke is up. This makes no sense. This isn't compelling. And then for some reason, YouTube just recommended a video to.
Hmm.
And then I watched it and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I don't understand why people watch this. I'm going to watch another one because I want to understand.
That's understandable though. Yeah, you're not interested, at least at the time. You're not interested in the topic, but you're interested in why people want to be interested in the topic.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
that's good. I believe that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, I found out why people were interested because now I watch them all the time.
See,
Okay.
isn't that crazy? That's insane
But
how
exactly.
flip floppy people can be on certain topics.
But 3 months ago, if someone walked up and said, hey, have you seen the latest video from Report of the Week? I would have said, who the hell is Report of the Week? And then when they would have said, oh, it's the skinny guy in the suits that reviews food, I would say, who watches that guy? Right. And then the now me would have to go back and say, look, here's the thing, brother. You don't understand. You're not in the minutia. You don't understand the magic that's there. But she
Hmm.
gets it now,
Hmm.
right? Before she was like, this Fortnite thing looks ridiculous. It's absurd, right? And then you get in with friends, right? It's one of those games that have socialization community around it, right? So part of
Yeah.
the fun is just playing with people that you like, your friends and stuff. But then you get into the mechanics, you see how some of the things work and all that stuff, and you're like, okay, this isn't bad. This is kind of okay. You see how much of the culture Fortnite is in, so then you see like some skins and some elements of it. Like, you know what? I have a passing interest in this. I might check this out, do
Yep.
this thing, right? And then before you know it, you're buying battle passes for it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like that's how it works.
That's
That's
how it
how it works.
happens. And,
That's how they get you.
and I always say knowledge is power.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. Yeah, sometimes they do things that are really attractive. Like I mentioned before, like my fiance like had she was playing and beat Assassin's Creed Shadows,
Hmm.
has been kind of saying like you need to play because you were going to play it after you got done with Ghosts of Yote, and I'm like, hey, I don't really, I don't think I want to do Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm not sure. I'm still on the fence about it, but I almost got pulled in, and I'm still on the fence about it. But I think I probably will end up playing it. But I almost got pulled in a little while ago because they did a strange cross Attack on Titan crossover.
Really?
And yeah, and my fiance and my cousin Big Beer Josh, and now his girlfriend, we're all watching Attack on Titan together. And so I was like, you know
Okay.
what? I'm watching Attack on Titan. They got this crossover. I see Aaron and the Attack Titan in this this is interesting. I wonder how this works. And I said, not. It's Ubisoft. They're trying to get you. They are laying a
You can't
trap.
fool me,
Can't fool
Ubisoft.
me. I know exactly who you are. Yeah, but that's funny. That is interesting. That is interesting. So she is diving in
Yeah,
complete.
she's playing it right now.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
she's
wow.
having a lot of fun. I'm very grateful that she found that and she's having that because
Yeah.
we're both sitting around the house kind of people, you
Hmm.
know. But we, you miss your friends,
Yeah.
so I'm glad that they just get on FaceTime on their phones,
Hmm.
so they can see each other and then they just talk on that and just play
Yep.
together and it's a great time.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
love
yeah.
that for them.
Yeah. That's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. So it's always cool. Certain when you do have like those games that you can play together, like all of you end up playing the same game, and especially like Fortnite is great because Fortnite is free to play. Like to jump in and to start playing it doesn't cost anything, right? So
Exactly.
yeah,
It's
it's
very
really cool.
appealing, especially
Hmm.
for people who don't usually play those. Like
Right.
I when I just got home, she was in a game and they got first place.
Oh, nice.
Her shooting accuracy was 1%. Like
Yeah,
I have never seen an accuracy that low in a shooting game. But that's completely fine. Like
it's completely fine.
I mean that is like low, but like she does not play these games
Right.
at
Exactly.
all. This
Right.
is her first shooter.
Exactly.
So
So you
I
ramp it up.
expect that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're
Everyone
upskilling,
starts
you're
somewhere.
skilling up. You're yeah, you're doing that, right? And then even with all that, like even if you like don't, if you're not whatever, as long as if you're enjoying the game, if you're having fun, that's the
Yeah,
purpose with all this stuff.
exactly
That
that
like
too.
so
Exactly
many
that too.
people in the industry and everything forgets, like, bro, the point is to have fun. That's the point of
That's what
all of
games
this.
were invented for.
Exactly, right? So like if you're having fun, you know what I'm saying? You get all these serious bros and stuff. And I mean, I give From Software most of the blame for this type of culture proliferation. But like it's like the thing of like, oh, it needs to be difficult, or the skill, like all the skill stuff, like it's cool if being super skilled at something is fun for you, right? It's obviously fun for you, but don't like project that onto other people. The point of all of this is to have fun. So if you and all your friends have 1%, shooting accuracy, and you always die 7 minutes into a match, but you're having fun,
You
then just
won.
keep going. You won. Exactly. 100%. That's good to hear. Um,
Agreed.
yeah. Cool. Well, with talking some games that we're playing and I guess our partners are also playing out of the way,
Yeah.
we're gonna switch to our topic here. Um, and the topic is kind of it's motivated by my consistent playing of Farming Simulator 25. So I think I've mentioned before that like part of the reason I've been playing this game so long is because before I would have a playthrough, I would start try to start a farm, didn't really get it, fail. I'm like, I don't like this. I'm gonna start over. I've been trying to make it so that I have a challenge. I'm not just giving myself a bunch of money with like and just can do whatever I want because that's not fun. Being able to just buy millions of dollars worth of gear off the gate, that's not fun. I gotta, as the kids say, or as the streets say, I want to get it from out the mud. I get it from the mud, right? That's what I want. That's what's fun to me. So
Right.
I finally hit a playthrough of which I'm enjoying, and now I am playing and having fun with the game the way I had envisioned myself having fun with it originally. But it took some tries to get there. And
Hmm.
so the topic is just a curiosity of games that we've played where we experienced the same thing, where it took some tries for us to really get to enjoy the game the way we envisioned or hoped that we would. Um, I know you've got like a few games.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know if I have a few, but I can at least offer one outside
Okay.
of this right here to set it off. And matter of fact, I mean, of the three games that I can think of, this one that I mentioned, the two other ones, they all have farming in them or are centered around it. So the first one I will say is Stardew Valley.
That's
So
fair.
Stardew Valley was the first one where before I talked about before where like I had it for Steam and I started playing it on my Switch, and then that's
Hmm.
when I kind of like made a sense, like it made sense. But even with that, it still took multiple tries to where I finally landed on a playthrough in like kind of like an, an an intent behind how I played to actually start enjoying it. And that's really important for like when I like if I decide now that I want to fire up a new playthrough of Stardew Valley, I'm not going to have the challenge of trying to figure out how I want to play the game because I had to do all those tries to figure out how I want to play the game, right? I can
Hmm.
just log in, start a new game and play it, right? So Stardew Valley is like the first example that I have of that. There were several times where I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like the way I'm approaching this. I don't understand. Like, I just don't get. It's not clicked for me yet, right? And then when it finally clicks, you're like, oh, okay, cool, awesome. Let's run with it. And that's where Stardew Valley becomes, 60, 80 hours on the Switch, and then another 60 hours or 60 plus hours on Steam, right? And it's a game that I can call up and go to whenever I want to. So but it took a minute.
Right.
It took several tries to get there. So that's really
Hmm.
the first one I can think of where it took several tries, and I'm like, okay, I got it. It clicks. Now let's go.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
I can see that because I'll throw out my game that is like that. I'm in the process. I haven't hit the mark yet,
Hmm.
and that is Manor Lords. I
Yeah.
just like I explained before. I can't keep my people fed. I'm having trouble. I keep restarting the game and trying to make. So I
Yeah.
feel like when I understand how to keep my community alive and
Yeah.
fed, I think that's when it will like explode and I'll be able to enjoy it more and be able to see what the game offers beyond the first like set of stuff you can do.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just discouraging that my people keep dying.
Yeah.
And I'll even try and focus on like the food, and then I don't have the other stuff, and it's so I find the balance and all that. But yeah, that's my runner-up game. I'm in the process of this happening.
Yeah. There's just a couple more. Yeah, and that's what I feel like that's a pretty consistent thing. I've at least for it's been for me for city building games as
I
a
was just
whole,
saying, it's
right?
just it's this
It's it's part of
building
that.
simulator almost.
Yeah. Yeah. And like especially with some games like that, like I mean, there is an objective, but they're somewhat open-ended. When I think about
Hmm.
like the older city building games, like the Sierra games, like your Caesar and your Pharaoh, those all had like you need to accomplish this to move to the next level, the next mission, right?
Hmm.
Or like a Tropico kind of had some of that too, right? So like with those, it's a little less of that because you have an objective. But if it's something like a Manor Lords, or if it's like a Banished, or something that's like an Anno 1800, like that's more open ended to do what you want to do, then there is like multiple tries of like I don't know how to make this how this is going to stick.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so another game that it's not a city builder one and again like those strategy ones are kind of a lot of them offer that. Another one that was kind of like that for me though, um, was not Mountain Blade Bannerlord, but Mountain Blade Warband, which was the first one,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
I hadn't really ever played a game like Mountain Blade Warband before having had played it. And so it was trying to understand how to play a game like this, how a game like this exists. And
Right.
then once I get a grasp of that, then understanding how I want to play a game like this. And it took several tries, right?
Hmm.
So, because I'm trying to understand exactly what I want to do, how I want to, how I want to go about things. And eventually it clicked and it was like, oh, this makes perfect sense. And especially with I'm pretty sure even though Bannerlord is newer and I talk about Bannerlord more, I'm pretty sure I still have more hours in Warband than I do Bannerlord.
Wow.
Um because it was just a matter of when it clicked, it clicked. And homie was
Right.
just that's all I was doing was just warbanding.
Hmm.
Let's raise up armies and let's just raise places to the ground. Let's just go completely, you know what I'm saying? Let's go complete Genghis Khan on everything.
Right.
So so that was another game that again took some tries before it really clicked, but once it clicked, like I was there. I was into it, you know.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Uh, my next one, it wasn't. It's not necessarily that it took so many tries to for it to click,
Mhm.
but it took a couple hours for it to feel rewarding and like interested in the game and like sucked into wanting to finish the game. And
Mhm.
it's Detroit Become Human.
Mm.
So like I originally wanted to play it just because one, Detroit, two, humanoids, and three, we're kind of headed in that direction. So I wanted to see what could be whatever.
Yeah.
But I had no idea what the gameplay was. I don't recall seeing any type of gameplay or anything like that. I might seen a trailer or whatever.
Yeah.
So when I first started playing the game, I I knew to walk around, but I didn't really understand what to do. And the thing that you had to do, you have to like do things in like directions with your mouse or whatever.
Mm.
It did not tell you that. It just gave you like the symbol for it. So I had to like stop. I had to look it up online. I'm like, what do you. It was very confusing.
Yeah.
So it took me like 4 missions to be like, okay, this game's pretty cool. Like I need to see what this story is gonna tell me.
Mhm.
The first 3, 4, I was like, what am I doing? Am I missing this? Am I making the right decisions?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my first one.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Um again like that's the whole thing of like once you've played enough to kind of build an approach. I mean, I don't know if style is the right word because the style can change, but just like a general knowledge of how to approach this game,
Right.
then like everything else just kind of clicks and just, it's like, okay, cool. Now I know enough about the game to where I know how I might want to differentiate this playthrough versus another playthrough or a previous playthrough because I have the knowledge of the game itself, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um one that I had that is another older game that I've kind of mentioned, but it took multiple tries to kind of get to it and do it, and I'm still needing to finish up some stuff. Is this game I mentioned called Metal Fatigue? Um,
Okay.
I've talked about how I've played this game in some way, shape, or form for 20 years
Mhm.
and had not really progressed in the game because even though I love the game and I love mechanically, this is one of the things where like mechanically I know how to play the game, but it was just getting it to click to where playing through it completely made like it felt right. Where I'm like, okay, I can go ahead and actually like progress through this campaign because now I feel like I actually want to do that. Before I would
Right.
play a little bit of the campaign, I play a bunch of skirmish maps. I enjoyed and loved the game. Like truly loved playing the game mechanically, right? But it was like, well, now it's clicked to where I'm ready to go because I tried before and just okay, I'm losing interest. Let me just play some skirmishes. Or I get so far and I'm like, okay, well now I want to maybe dabble with the campaign a little bit. Something else happens, I get busy or whatever. But now it's like before I started really playing Farming Simulator and other stuff, I was going through and just like playing the campaign of this game. And now it's to a point where like it's clicked to where if I have to jump back in, I can jump back in. It's not a thing of like, ugh, I don't know. Maybe I need to start over. Maybe I just ain't got it. It's like a thing where it's finally clicked, and it's like, no, I can just hop in and play this game. I have the full
Right.
competence, understanding, and it's clicked where I can go in and play it. So
Yep.
that was another one that took literally decades before it clicked for me. And I was like, all right, I'm cool. I'm good to go in this game and do what I got to do.
That just reminded me of something. I guess I'll throw this one in there too. So, uh, Bomberman for the Sega. I don't remember which
Yes.
one it is,
Okay.
but it's the Bomberman dude doing like the peace sign on the Sega cartridge.
Okay.
It might be Bomberman 4. I don't know. But anyways, so every time. you beat a level, you got this 4-digit code for the next level, right? Because they didn't have, saves and stuff back then. So they just had to put in codes so you could start at certain levels
Okay.
instead of just, you know, loading in from a save point.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to the final boss in Bomberman, but I could never beat him. I always died,
Yeah.
right? 15 years later or so, maybe 16, I was still living at my mom's. And I moved out when I was 21. So yeah, 15, 16 years. I was like, you know what? I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to try it because I still remember the code. It's 0515. I still remember it.
Yeah.
But I finally beat it after all that time. It still took me a few tries after, you know, starting to play it again. But it took me 15, 16 years to beat that game because I could
Mm-hmm.
not beat that last boss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Sometimes it takes long to again either beat a boss or just get to a point of playing a game where you're like, you know what, I'm ready to actually play the game. I've been playing the game, but I'm ready to play the game. You know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I do.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, and some of those, especially when you have some of those games like that where it takes, it's decades later and you finally beat the game. It's kind of like oh cool, I've grown so much stronger,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then I always have the kind of revelation of, oh wow, I've grown so much stronger. Than oh wow, I was also so stupid as a child. It's almost like
it's,
a dual, it's like a dual thing,
it's a
right?
double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's double edged sword. Yeah. Also, it looks like that was Mega Bomberman that has the guy with the peace sign, him doing the peace sign on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Cool. So then I'll say the last game I'll kind of cite for this is a game that I just mentioned
Yeah.
earlier and also want to be playing and have been playing, and that is Medieval Dynasty.
Mm.
So I bought Medieval Dynasty late last year, but I had started playing Medieval Dynasty probably 2 years earlier, right? And so but it was the same thing as Farming Simulator. That's not quite right. I don't know if I'm starting my village in the right place. I don't feel right with this. I don't like this. Or I might want to do this instead. Like, how do I do this? How do I make this work? And especially with games like that, when there's so many considerations and it's so open for how you want to approach building your world or your village or whatever, in the beginning, you're always questioning, like, am I making the right decision? Am I making the wrong decision?
Oh,
You know what I'm
so
saying?
much.
And so it's like,
So
oh,
much.
should I put my house here? Oh, should I put a lumberjack's, hut or whatever, a woodshed here? Oh, where should I put a hunting lodge? You know what I'm saying? There's moose over here. Do I want my people hunting moose? Moose are scary, right? All those decisions that go into it, and then it's like, you know what, buddy, you need to nut up and play this freaking game. And so that's what happened. So it was not this playthrough I'm on now, but the playthrough before where it finally clicked.
hmm
And I'm like, I know where I want to build. This makes sense. I have intentionality behind what I'm doing. It makes sense. I know exactly what I want to do. To where I then took a break from it for a while. And when I came back, I'm like, I'm just gonna start a new map, but I'm gonna build in the same place because I know what I want to do. And so I started a new playthrough in the same place. Now I once again left that playthrough, but I'm not going. I can jump right back into it. I don't feel like I
hmm
have to start something else and again try to refigure things out because like it clicked. I have intentionality behind what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm wanting to do and how I'm wanting to play this game. So it's just a matter of just getting in there and doing it. And when you're able to do that with all these games, right, it just makes them so much more enjoyable because you're not guessing or second guessing playing how to play the game. you're just you're just thinking about and making choices on how you want to enjoy the game, and that's like
Right.
a different kind of shift in like how you're able to, again, start enjoying stuff that you're playing, because again,
hmm
the whole point is to have fun. So it's that was the most recent one outside of Farming Simulator where it was like try, multiple tries, trying 2 years to start building something that I actually liked. And then I finally started to build something I actually liked. And then was like, okay, cool. Now I know how I want to approach building in this playthrough and in other playthroughs. When I build in other places, I still have ideas, firm ideas, because of an understanding of the game and how I want to
Exactly.
interface with it as to how I build and what I build.
Hmm.
It's the same thing like that. So I would say that's probably the last one that really kind of jumps to mind with how many tries before it finally clicked with enjoying
Right.
the game. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, my other one is Fragpunk. Now,
Okay.
like I said before, my son is the one that got me into this game. He was like, "Hey, you want to play this?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I found out, it was like Valorant, and I was not a fan of Valorant. So
Hmm.
I was just playing it because he wanted to play with me. I
Yeah.
like playing games with him, and we don't have that many in common. We both, don't play Apex that much anymore.
Yeah.
So I was like, sure, sure. So downloaded it, played it, and I knew what it was. And, I died, I made some kills, whatever. But it didn't like click and start playing like on my own until like 3 or 4 or 5 hours into playing with him.
Hmm.
After that is when I started to play on my own, and I started understanding and ranking up really fast. And so that's my last one. I didn't want to play the game Fragpunk. I wanted to play a game with my son. It just so happened to be Fragpunk,
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and I just ended up really liking it
Yeah.
after just playing it a couple times and realizing just because it's a game like Valorant, it isn't Valorant,
Great.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So that's my other one.
Yeah. Hey, that's nice. We got some old and recent examples. This isn't like a thing that's kind of like, oh well, you're new to gaming, so that's why this happens. If
Right.
anything, I
Yeah,
feel
it can
like
happen at any time.
at any time. You know what I'm
We've
saying?
between us, we probably have 15,000 hours of gaming,
Yeah.
and it's still happening.
Still happens. Yeah. Still happens. As recent as this year. you know?
Yeah.
It's yeah, that still happens. You know? It's not like those older games where you have a bunch of indecision around it. Oh, I don't know how I want to play, X, or I don't know how I want to. Oh, how do I approach playing? I don't know the outfit. I'll just throw a really kind of discreet, unknown Xbox game out there for people to look at. I don't know. It's not like that, It's even now where even simpler games. You know what I'm saying? They can be games like mine's is a little bit of analysis paralysis with some of these games when
Hmm.
you're offered so many options. But even again, like I said, like Metal Fatigue is an analysis paralysis. That is a straightforward RTS game. You have a mission, you land on the map, you build your base, you destroy the other enemy, you keep going. Next mission, same thing, rinse, wash, and repeat for dozens of hours. That's all it is. And even then, it's still, well, how do I do this? It happen with
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah. That's speaking. Fragpunk actually has this side game mode. It's like a wave of bad guys coming at you, and you have to set up your little area and protect this crystal.
Hmm.
I,
Yeah.
I, I can get through the waves, but when the boss comes, I just get demolished. I have no idea what to do.
Yeah.
I still have to figure that out if I want. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't really play that mode anymore. But yeah, it's there. I get it, but I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, be interested in the listeners, the people commenting like, what was a game like that for them? Multiple
Right.
tries, multiple tries, perhaps even over multiple years, and then one day, one playthrough, it clicked. And you're like, I am now playing the game the way I envisioned I would
Right.
play
This
the
is what
game.
I've been waiting for.
It's what I've been waiting for. It's what all this work has been towards. Um, yeah, alrighty. Well, with that out the way, that means we are near the end of the episode, which means it's time for final thoughts, where we can offer a final thought about anything that is related or unrelated to this podcast episode. So, Who wants to offer a final thought first?
I'll go.
Okay.
All right. So, um, we are Costco shoppers, and they have these nut clusters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever had these. It's like uh, almonds and pumpkin seeds and like a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
other whatever, and
Yeah.
they're just like these cubes, and they're so good, so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll sit there and eat quite a bit of them, and I need to stop doing that because what was this, 2 nights ago? Yeah, 2 nights ago, I woke up to stomach acid in my throat.
Ugh.
You ever wake up with that and you're like choking on it?
You're talking about the GERD, and I have very much
Uh,
experienced
it
multiple
was
times.
terrible. And I'm like,
Bro,
I,
yeah.
I can't do that again. And that was like my third time that I've done that to myself.
Bro,
Knowledge.
there's been times where that happened, and I woke up, and it was so bad, and it was so visceral. I was convinced that, I was convinced that I had died, and I was now existing in, uh like 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 another timeline of which my life, the life in which I did not get killed from GERD. uh it sometimes has been that bad for me. It's mostly with anything that's like milk product related,
Mm.
which is real bad because your boy loves a couple of scoops of ice cream late at night, winding down from work, get some
It's the
butter
best.
pecan, right?
Well, that's
But
not the
you
best. What?
yeah, right. But I can't, I can't do it no more. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, gotta find
Yeah.
different things. So I resort to like suckers, like lollipops and stuff. And I
Okay.
can, I can do chocolate. I've been doing chocolate recently. I should stop. It's not actually good for you. But I've been the thing I've been telling myself is that, hey, it's dark chocolate. It's 60% cacao.
I'd say it.
So
See? Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
exactly, just like if I drunk a whole cup of glass of red wine right before falling asleep. Who's to say that's bad? You know,
Right. Right. So,
red wine's supposed to
I
be good
was-
for you.
exactly.
A
One
glass of
one
red
one
wine a
glass a
day.
day or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, a doctor may say, yeah, maybe not 2 minutes before you go to bed, but y'all don't specify that when y'all say it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
Right. And so
uh,
I was I was gonna finish my final thought with
yeah.
knowledge is power if you use the knowledge. I know eating a bunch of those is gonna make me do that, but
Bro,
sometimes I
bro,
don't
they so fire.
I don't use the knowledge. And
Exactly.
I put myself in that position.
Sometimes knowing something and then not acting on the knowledge because the knowledge is something you don't want is also power. You know what I'm saying?
Touche.
Hey,
Touche.
I know I shouldn't eat these because they give me GERD, but also they're delicious and I deserve a treat. So I'm going to eat
That's
these.
right. That is right.
Yep.
Uh,
That GERD is for future David to worry about. And then future David wakes up in a panic, pissed at past
yep.
David. That's
Yeah.
exactly what
I'm like,
happens.
God dang it.
Wake up, God
Uh,
damn you, David. You shouldn't have
yes.
ate those clusters. And then
Told
past
you to
David is like,
stop.
F you, future
Halfway
David, don't
along,
have
you
GERD.
ate.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, 100%. Oh yeah. Um. Well, my final thought is that a couple of episodes ago we did a game where we did the
Yes.
guess the mobile game edition things,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I have it. It'll be titled. It's titled that in the video and all that stuff as the Clue game, and I forgot how Clue was played. And what we were doing, I think, is more of a guess who. So um there may be some people that say, hey, this isn't Clue, this is more like guess who. You're right. I can't give
That's
you a I can't give you a cookie or a badge or anything like that. Just go to sleep with the understanding that you are correct. I kept calling guess who Clue. Um but
I mean, to be fair, you gave me clues
I gave that's
to
why look,
guess
that's
to
why I
guess
thought
which council it was.
exactly. But I guess it's but clue is they give you clues to find out who killed someone.
Yeah, but Clue has, you were giving me clues.
I was giving you clues.
You weren't playing Clue
Exactly.
to give me answers.
You're
So
right.
I
Right.
mean, I could see it could go both ways. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Well, the episode's called the Handheld Clue Edition. So, if you're thinking, hey, this is an edition of Clue, it's not. It's more an edition of Guess Who, but there's clues in it. So that's why you got to know. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's my final thought though. Which brings us to the end of level 158 of the
Dang.
Thoughts and Players podcast. If you like what you heard, please like, share, subscribe to the pod on the socials and on your preferred podcast service. If you want to
Yeah.
support the pod, there's a couple of things you can do. One, merch. We got a merch store, Teespring store, hats, shirts, hoodies, all that stuff. Check us out there. We also have a Patreon. We have a $1, $2 tier per month to help support different little goodies, stuff like that, exclusive things. Um, yeah, I think the outside of the podcast, the most recent thing that will be on our YouTube is going to be the a new episode of the Executive Hollywood movie tycoon game.
Okay.
New episode of that popping up there, getting some more out for that. And yeah, probably some other things, some other like interesting little videos, top fives, different stuff like that we were doing. Just got to pick them back up. But yeah, so that is it for me. David, was there anything else you wanted to add?
Peace.
Alrighty, well, thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next level.